Man has hunted since the beginning of time. What began with crude weapons and animal images scrawled on cave walls has developed into a multi-million-dollar industry. From the Tilton Hiltons to the mansions in the marsh, we hunt and we cook. Everything from rabbits and raccoons to deer and ducks, while learning about the passion of sportsmen through the ages. Man's love affair with hunting is really not about the kill, but how to prepare a sumptuous wild game banquet after the hunt. Now get that camouflage apron and join me, Chef John Folse, for another Taste of Louisiana.
Funding for After the Hunt with Chef John Folse is brought to you by the Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Day is dawning on the Mississippi River and the sun is shining on Baton Rouge. Attractions, shopping, food, and Southern hospitality you know and love. Go BR and go brighter. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Our mission is to tell Louisiana's story to the world. And by the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. Vacation planning guides are available at louisianatravel.com. You wait all year for your vacation. Don't sleep through it.
Up the Claymore, up the Standard, the Pretender will come no more.
Good job, y'all. Good job. Hey, Doc, how you doing? How you doing, Amy? Nice to see y'all. Nice to see y'all. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see my Destrehan crowd here, huh? All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me in Sportsman's Paradise today for yet another edition of A Taste of Louisiana. I'm thrilled to have all of the studio audience here with us and all of you guys back home, too. I wish you were here with us. You know why? We're cooking partridge today. That's what we're doing, partridge. You like that? Huh? I don't think you like partridge. That's what I don't think. Huh? You will in a minute. Our kitchen musicians today is Smithfield Fair. Y'all give them a big hand over there. Thank y'all thank you for stirring up our pots in the kitchen today. We appreciate it so much. Y'all, today we're taking a step back in time. You might not readily think about it, but hunting influenced a great many aspects of life during the Renaissance. In particular, Renaissance artists captured the passion of the hunt on canvas. Let's take a look at it. Because hunting was so important to Renaissance and Baroque rulers, it naturally influenced the arts. During the 1400s, hunting scenes decorated the pages of prayer books, manuscripts, and stained glass windows. The Flemish artist Peter Paul Rubens greatly influenced all painting pertaining to hunting.
His style was so beautiful and was so popular. He was the most famous artist throughout Europe. And you see this combat between man and nature in the scenes of the hunt.
His hunting scenes reflected either the mythology of antiquity or they portrayed colorful, passionately realistic hunting scenes. Sir Anthony Van Dyck was a favorite disciple of Rubens. The portrait of Charles I of England and his court were among his greatest works.
And in those images, it's not so much engagement, but shows the king in his hunting regalia, which also would have been a representation of the king's status, but provides us with information on the hunt and what they wore and how they went about it and so on.
Fran Snyder was another remarkable Flemish painter who created masterful hunting works. Many of Snyder's paintings, such as Kitchen Still Life with a maid and young boy, represent lavish tables overfilled with game and fruit.
And Fran Snyder's created these tables just laden with animals and deer and rabbits, and they would be hanging from the wall, just showing the sumptuousness of the hunt or the aftermath of the hunt, but they would become these still life objects too.
Jean-Baptiste Audrey was the most famous hunting artist of the day. Under his direction, huge oil paintings of French par-force hunts were created on castle walls at Fontainebleau. Audrey also served as chief inspector of the Royal Gobelin Manufactory in Paris, where all royal wall tapestries, furniture, jewelry, and carpets were made.
Audrey is what we would describe as a Rococo painter, and he worked for some time for Louis XV, who was King of France at that time. And we know that Louis XV was not only excited about hunting in terms of status, but he was passionate about the hunt. And he commissioned a series of paintings to decorate his castle at Fontainebleau. And then from those paintings, a series of tapestries were designed that also then illustrated the hunt.
Many artists were invited to hunts to sketch images for commissioned works. There were numerous fabulous artists of the hunt. Alexandre Francois Desportes created his self-portrait as a hunter. Charles-André Van Loo painted Picnic after the hunt, and then there's Jean-Désiré Gustave Courbet's After the Hunt. There's even a marvelous After the Hunt painting hanging in the dining room of Destrehan Plantation on the Mississippi River, 15 miles upriver from New Orleans. Of course, the pictures of the hunt and art, tapestries, furniture, and serving dishes is not exclusive to our hunting past. Even today, it's not uncommon to find hunting scenes in many Louisiana lodges, such as here at Gros Savant, where murals depict scenes of marshes, walls are adorned with hunting images, and favorite species are displayed lifelike in backlit shadow boxes. Y'all great out there. Smithfield Fair over here, y'all give them a big hand, huh? All right, thank y'all. Thank you so much. Wow, what great music over there, right? I love you guys. Huh? You're wonderful. My God, you're very excited today. Are you drinking? Huh? Huh? Did he give you the wine before we had something to eat? Huh? Yeah, great audience today. Thank y'all so much. Sitting at the kitchen counter right here, two of my really great buddies. First of all, you just met one of them. Dr. Amy Morris here, professor of art at Southeastern University, right? There you go. Nice to have you. And Doc Spinder, he's actually a food historian, and he does a lot of cooking at historic Destrehan Plantation over in Destrehan. Nice to have you with us. And we're going to be cooking, absolutely. And we're going to be cooking a little later with you because we went out to a Destrehan, used that beautiful kitchen of yours to do a nice package, and you'll tell us a little bit about that in a minute. You know what we're doing today? As we talk about game, we're always not only looking at the game that we go out and harvest in the woods and the fields and the swamps of Louisiana, there's also wonderful hunting lodges and camps that bring game in, more of a domesticated type game that's pen raised or free range raised, and then allow the local hunters to get a feel for what some of this Rocky Mountain game is. And Partridge or a chucker, which is a member of the Partridge family, you're looking at me like you're saying, what's he talking about? Partridge. Partridge in a pear tree? You've heard the song? This is it right here, Partridge in a... this is what you've been singing about all of your life, huh? Now you feel pretty guilty, don't you? But anyway, Partridge, Chuck is a member of the Partridge family. Rocky Mountains here is where we... but they originated in Israel, Afghanistan. Afghanistan is a big area for this type of bird right here. But we have it in the big kitchen today in Louisiana. Y'all excited about that? Huh? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Huh? I wish I had a wine glass myself right now. Okay, let me tell you what we're going to do. I'm taking the chucker and beautiful white meat, just beautiful white meat. I'm going to season them nicely inside, you know, and put a lot of seasoning in there. Do you just, how many of you just season the outside of your bird thinking that's enough, huh? How many of you? Put your hands up. Don't lie to me. I know, yeah, there you are. Wait, fill up the inside. Why? That bony structure on the inside is going to suck up all that good seasoning, and that's going to influence the flavor of your finished stock, your finished sauce that's in the pot, and you rub it really nice. Like a partridge in a pear tree. You know what I mean? Okay, right there. Now I'm going to cook this with artichokes. Artichokes was, in early New Orleans, was a decorative plant in the garden, but you love it today, oyster and artichoke soup, and you with me? Huh? You ever thought about artichokes with partridges? Okay, that's going to go into the pot. Take a look at this right here. And I'm going to stir it around. You can see this. There's two different sizes. By the way, you probably noticed that. There's a large chucker and a small one. So I'm using the large size just to show you. And this is the ones that most people kind of throw into the pot. This is the little nice, almost like a quail, right? Looks like, but look how beautiful and white that is. Isn't this gorgeous? Isn't this really gorgeous? Huh? Yeah. I don't believe you when you just sit there and say, okay, I'm going to throw some artichoke hearts in. And Amy, I have to ask you a question here.
Okay.
You with me?
Are
you with
so
me?
with
you know, in this electronic age, everything is computers and high def, and everybody in a nanosecond can access all the art of the world. What makes the canvas different? Who's going to see that canvas versus just saying, well, I'll just look it up?
Because when you look at something on a screen or a digital image of something, what you don't see are the artist's brushstrokes. And that's what makes a work of art unique to that individual master. And some of them would blend it, but then it'll have a slick, beautiful finish. Or then you have Van Gogh, and you can actually see the texture and the movement. And it looks so flat when we see everything just in a digital way.
So people traveling to the great museums of the world, like say walking into the Louvre and looking at these pieces for the first time, is that an experience that in your mind as an art instructor or a professor of art, is that something that's going to bring them back time and again, or is in many cases just a one-time experience that they say, oh, I like that, or whatever?
Most people have told me they have a religious experience when they go. And I think what people are astonished by is the size of things. When you see things in a magazine or on a screen, they look little or big. And some of these canvases are 20 feet tall, and you're standing in front of this masterpiece. And so
like
they're changed.
Like Audrey's great pieces of the rhinoceros and all of that. That's the size of a whole wall.
Right, exactly.
It's just mesmerizing to see it. Okay, okay, y'all. Let's get back to my pot for a minute. Talking about the great masters. Huh? Take a look. Thank you. Huh? Okay, I have the partridges. They're browning with all of this wonderful artichoke flavor. I'm going to add the stock. This is you see how clear that stock is? That's because it's more like a chicken stock. It's a light game stock. I'm going to put in here. And can I borrow a little bit of your wine, Amy? I'm going to put a little bit in here. I'm not going to take much. Just a little bit to enhance.
No drinking out of the bottle anymore.
This is Louisiana. We drink out of the bottle, huh? And then I'll throw a little rosemary in here, and we're going to let this just simmer beautifully on partridge or this particular bird, like pheasant. Normally it takes about an hour and a half to tenderize, but that beautiful white meat is absolutely incredible. One other question. Why did the kings, why did royalty find it important to create these great masterpieces of art in that day? What was the purpose of it? Just for their own enjoyment, or?
Most of it was status. Only the very wealthy could afford to own artworks like that. And so, and also just to beautify their surroundings, but a lot of it showed them in all of their glory. And so they wanted to
and
have
thank
that.
God, because of it, we see what they wore, we saw the tools of the hunt, we saw the hunting dogs as, I mean, just absolutely incredible, these great pieces. So, hey, thanks for the great job you're doing.
Thank you so much.
You just taught us all something about art as well. So, hey, y'all. This is what it looks like after it comes out of the pot. Take a look at that right there. Isn't that a beautiful piece, huh? Isn't that gorgeous? Y'all, just a couple of weeks ago, the queen of Creole cooking, Leah Chase, and I went out to Doc Spindel's place over at Destrehan Plantation, and we spit roasted a bird. Y'all take a look at this. Y'all, I couldn't be more excited today. I'm standing here in the outdoor kitchen at magnificent Destrehan Plantation, which is about 20 miles west of the city of New Orleans. A plantation home built in 1787, and a plantation of about 6,000 or 7,000 acres, about 1,000 under cultivation of indigo, later sugarcane, and a lot of great Louisiana history here. A beautiful restoration of one of the most magnificent homes. And here with my wonderful, the queen of Creole cooking, Leah Chase from Dooky Chase's in New Orleans. How you doing, Leah?
I'm doing fine. You know, I started off like this.
You started?
Yeah, I started off like this in the country. Yeah.
Y'all, we're doing one of the great dishes. Now, this is squab. This is baby pigeon, I guess is the best way to put it. Oh, come on, smile a little bit out there. This is baby pigeon. Now, when Laussat, who was the French, let's say a commandant. He was one of the commissioners that Napoleon sent here to take Louisiana from Spain, because Spain was running Louisiana, and hand it over to Thomas Jefferson when for the Louisiana Purchase. Laussat visited this beautiful plantation, and chances are pretty good he would have eaten a dish like this, because squab, only 2 were hatched at a time, and this was reserved for very important visitors. So, Leah, you ready to cook them? You notice my little rotisserie on the back fire over there.
That's great. I love that.
Okay, right here. Give me some herbs and salt and pepper. And I'm sure, and Laussat was a big hunter. He used to love to hunt teal ducks and wood ducks and all of that nice stuff. So I'm sure he would have treated this the same way. You can throw all that in there, baby. That little bit of old stuff.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna spice it up really good.
Now, simple seasoning, because salt and pepper would have been about it. Yeah, a little bit. There you go, a little garlic in there as well. Now, notice all of the vegetables here. Vegetables were very important because everybody had gardens, so you could so you could supplement this. Now, did you ever cook squab when y'all were growing up?
No, I cooked quail a lot.
Oh yeah, well about the same family.
The same thing.
You hold my skewer, baby, and I'm gonna just. Now, always skewer them all the way down. Stick a little bit of herb down in that belly. Just push it down in there.
Yeah, and then that'll cook good.
Yep, and then I'll do the same thing here. I'll put a little bit herb back in this, and of course all the night. And this is basil, thyme, tarragon. There's no, there's no right or wrong for this, right?
No, you.
There you go. You keep that. And this is gonna, once it's all seasoned, and get a little bit more. Throw another big piece of herb in here. Just push it down in there.
A little basil in that.
A little basil in that one. And now what I would do here normally, Leah, would be to tie all of these up nicely on the skewer, because it's going to take about 40 minutes in front of this very hot fireplace to cook these beautiful squabs. So I would tie them with a little bit of this butcher's twine, just like this. Get them nice and tight on there, so as they cook, they wouldn't. And all that nice herb and everything falls in. Now, all you have to do here, this is a reflector oven. The heat hits the front from the fireplace. You just kind of line up the skewer in there like that, and you put your vegetables in the bottom. And in about 40 to 45 minutes, turning them every now and then, just with this handle, you're going to get them. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if Laussat really ate this nice little squab here or not. But if he was here today, he'd show you them, baby. Look,
that may be beautiful.
Look how gorgeous they are.
Oh, they are gorgeous.
And look, we're gonna take them off in a minute, y'all.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Leah. I
John
appreciate it.
had me basting,
Let me wipe.
That's why he's ivory and I'm this color. Because he had me based in the quails by the heat.
You were based in the partridge.
Squab.
Come on over here and take a look at them. Look how beautiful they are here.
Really good.
How nice and they're perfectly done too. Perfectly done. That is beautiful squab music from Smithfield Fair, y'all. Let's give them a big hand here. Thank y'all for making it for us in the kitchen today. Very nice, very nice. Y'all have music in your kitchens, don't you? You'd probably turn on like a little sound system or something. In my kitchen at home, I bring in Smithfield Fair. And I cook. Yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful. Okay? Okay, y'all. Hey, you ready to do another little cooking? There was a great guy I mentioned just now, Pierre Clement de Laussat. He was the French commissioner for the transfer of Louisiana in the Louisiana Purchase from the French to Thomas Jefferson. And he came over to Destrehan Plantation in Destrehan to, first of all, survey the French territory, but also at the same time to come in and do hunting, because he was a great hunter, Laussat was. And there was a list of items he probably ate on that trip. Roasted mallard ducks. And probably squab. Why? Because squab was always raised in the pigeonnières, as they call them, on the plantations, right, Doc?
Correct. That's correct.
And they kept their own game houses or their dovecote house so that they would always have.
Always available for visitors.
Always. And in those days, no telephones. So visitors just kind of stopped in without, you probably have a bunch of those coming yourselves now, right? Just stop in and don't call ahead. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and throw this dish on. Then we want to talk a little bit, because at every plantation, Doc Spindell, who's a food historian over at Destrehan, we go over there and we study a little bit about the open hearth cookery, and I want to talk a little bit about that. But on every plantation, there was the plantation home in the middle, there was the pigeonniere, a very decorative house on one side, and the garçonniere in the other. The garçonniere was for the young men who came to court the young women of the plantation. And the pigeonniere was where the pigeons were locked up. So you had the men locked up over here, the young boys were locked up over here, and the pigeons were locked up over here, and they both had about the same class on the plantation. They were both ready to be cooked if they were caught. If they were caught, they would be cooked. So, okay, y'all, my wok is hot. This is a cheap imitation of a beautiful Asian wok, but take a look at it right here. And I'm going to put into that a little wonderful sesame oil. You know, sesame has that great aroma when it hits the pan. Into that, the squab, y'all, I have some deboned squab. It's a beautiful, it's between a game and a domestic meat. So, do y'all have references on the plantation at Destrehan for squab and squab cookery?
Oh, yeah, yes.
A lot of it?
A lot of it.
Okay, you see the wok starting to smoke?
Yeah.
That indicates a cheap rendition of a wok. Okay. This is the squab. It's already deboned and cut into strips, right? Oh, yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and stir that around. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, just as the Asians do. We have a great Asian community here in Louisiana. Of course, we have the Vietnamese have come in, the Chinese have come in, the Laotians have come in, the Manila men were here very early on. We have such a great respect for the flavors of Asia. I'm having mushrooms and water chestnuts down into this. Bamboo shoots. You know all the bamboo we grow in Louisiana? The young shoots, this is it right here. Another great influence, the red bell peppers going into it. And then again, we're going to kind of move that around just a little bit. And Doc, tell me a little bit about Destrehan, the types of cooking demos that you do there, the foods that you, just as in art, because food is an art form as well. What do you teach the visitor to Destrehan about food?
Well, we teach the visitors of something that we hope we never lose, that we try to use natural, free bounty.
So,
you might be called cheap, but when you don't have to buy something,
yeah,
you can cook a lot.
Well,
and spend your money on wine.
Yeah.
So you have to make use of this beautiful bounty we have, like our big in bounty now that we get for free.
Right.
That's why we should eat more of the Louisiana products instead of sending it away from us. You can't give people in another state food. You gotta
hoard
plenty
it for
yourself.
No, but also on the plantation. I mean, when you think in the days of what did we have in our swamp floor pantry? Think about it for a minute. The swamp floor pantry: venison and rabbit and quail and crawfish and crab and oysters and turtle. I mean, any visitor coming to Louisiana, a home.
Plus, especially the seafood, we have both fresh water, salt water,
brackish
water. Anything you want, we can give you. And it all is done natural, which means it has great flavors. Everybody's fighting for food, so it's going to be very tasty.
Well, you know what I like about it, too? At Destrehan, like so many of our great plantations and state parks, we're always trying to show the visitor what food was like back then, because so many of our youngsters don't really even understand where food comes from. Now, also, the wild herbs and the spices that y'all use as well. You have herb gardens there, and you try to show all of that. Little oyster sauce here, y'all. You know, y'all just follow me here, little oyster. So y'all actually showing the gardens as well.
It's like you're doing that dish there. We grow ginger on the plantation.
Absolutely.
At the plantation right now, we grow lemongrass.
Red chili paste you grow?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's right.
Absolutely. And then, y'all, we swirl that around. Now, you know what we're going to do with it? Oh, this smells unbelievable. I could eat this every day. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to just let this cook for a minute. This is what it looks like when it's done, because we serve it in lettuce wraps. We just wrap it up, and that's another great thing grown on the plantation. Isn't that beautiful right here? Y'all, I want to thank both of you for being with us today. Two great art historians right here. We appreciate you both so much. Have another glass of wine while I say thanks to all of you for joining us in the swamps of Louisiana. And remember that man's love affair with hunting is not about the kill, It's not about the skill. It's all about the fabulous feast after the hunt. We'll see you next time right here on the Taste of Louisiana Smithfield Fair. Y'all give them a hand. All right. Let's listen to it.
To purchase the After the Hunt cookbook by Chef John Folse, an After the Hunt t-shirt or program DVD, call the number on your screen. Funding for After the Hunt with Chef John Folse is brought to you by the Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Day is dawning on the Mississippi River and the sun is shining on Baton Rouge. Attractions, shopping, food, and Southern hospitality you know and love. Go BR and go brighter. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Our mission is to tell Louisiana's story to the world. And by the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. Vacation planning guides are available at louisianatravel.com. You wait all year for your vacation. Don't sleep through it.